our next segment is a little something that we like to call 8 Bits. And if you've not watched the show before, 8 Bits is a show where we ask the same 7 questions. It's sort of our tech version of Inside the Actor Studio, except it's inside the Teams call that we do this meeting in. And we ask the question to the person. We have 1/8 bonus question. So, Charmaine, you kind of answered the first one, but I guess I'll say, you said that Neopets were what got you into technology and wanting to do this, but what is your earliest memory of tech? Do you have like an early memory of maybe the first computer that you went on, or maybe the first time your sister showed you some programming stuff?
Honestly, yeah, Neopets is like a big part of that. And then when I really got into like computers, I think was when my sister needed me to play her RuneScape account for her, so that she could level up while she's not playing.
What is RuneScape? I've never heard of this.
It's like the old version of like a downgraded version of like maybe World of Warcraft or.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like you have different skills and you level up by spending a lot of time doing things.
I love it. It's like Animal Crossing.
Totally. Yeah, it totally is. Yeah. So yeah, I would say like it's just a series of different computer games, I think. Or actually just something popped into my mind of this like Mickey Mouse game that I used to play.
Wait, was it the train one? Was there a train involved?
No.
Okay.
It's like you're in a kitchen and you're like making food, and then Mickey pops his head into your home and then he'll try your food.
Oh my goodness. Uninvited. Rude.
Hopefully it's good. You want to fed Mickey.
Yeah, I always did my best.
I know Brandon and I are a little bit older than you, Charmaine, but someone, I retweeted this earlier this week, but someone posted a screenshot of Math Blasters, which there were a bunch of different iterations of Math Blasters, but the caption said something like, retweet if you could like never land the thing correctly, because you like had to get the numbers right and like land right on top of the alien to get him. And games used to be super stressful. I love that.
Like my wife and I have been playing old school games on Super Nintendo, Sega during the quarantine, and yeah, I forget, like they don't even let you save, so you just have to beat the game in one go in a lot of these. And if you die, then you just start back from the beginning. And like I just beat 8 levels and it took me 2 hours. And they're like, nope, try again.
I remember when they started, so I have the Aladdin Super Nintendo game, and they have this feature where it's like, oh, when you beat this one level, we give you this code, and you type in the code and you can go back to where you were. And I was like, oh my God, like this is before cell phones where we could like take a screenshot of it and be like writing it down, like chicken scratch on a paper, like apple B heart 22. But ironically enough, we have my original Super NES here on display in our apartment. And my boyfriend said, well, you can go online and you can, play all these. They're all open source at this point. And I said, how dare you? This is an artifact. We have to keep this in our home. This was formative to my early years. So I have a big obsession with video games as well. So our next question, Charmaine, is what is the last piece of tech or hardware that you bought? This is always a tough one.
So for AI for Anyone, we were hosting a workshop, and so I wanted a better microphone. So I ordered a microphone, which is really hard to get nowadays because everyone's trying to start a podcast and whatnot. So I ordered one, and it's right here. And I can't believe I'm not even using it. Like it's just, whoa, look.
Wow.
Yeah, look at the microphone. I'm not using.
If I had one like that, I would pretend I'm in the recording studio all the time and be like, oh, like look like I'm recording an album or something. Have you tested it out yet?
Yeah, I first tested it out with my friends. Like we were just video calling, and I'm like, hold up, let me just try something. And then I just like left that on for the entirety of the video, which was, they felt very weird about it. But I recorded. So I also have a MIDI controller, which is like right there, so I'm looking there. So I did a cover of Machine Gun Kelly's song Bloody Valentine.
Cool.
So it's not being put to great use, but it's getting some use.
I feel very out of the loop because Brandon, I see your microphone. Now I see your cool microphone. I got to get on the microphone train. I did a talk with my friend April recently, and her, like, when I watched it back, listening to her talk felt like ASMR, and mine felt like I was on a call with someone. So I need to find a good microphone.
Yeah, and they're also nice for, like, yeah, we're using it for 92 and bike right now, but I'll take it off the stand and I've got a bass stand I can put it on. And like when my wife and I are chatting with friends over video chat, or like over a Zoom call, we'll set it up there too, because it's also a directional mic. So it helps avoid like echoes and all that fun stuff. So my friends make fun of me, but
you get to look like you're on NPR. So you look really fancy. I don't look fancy. This is my microphone right here, my Pixel earbuds. But speaking of new technology that we're going to purchase, I'm very excited to look into purchasing the new Microsoft. This is not an ad, by the way. The new Microsoft earbuds look like little earrings, and I'm very excited to test them out. Next question. What technology do you love? I know you just mentioned that you work with AI for everyone. I would love to hear more about that, but I'll let you answer the question first. What technology do you love?
Okay, so I'm not gonna say TikTok. I recently discovered an app called like Threads, which is by Instagram. It's basically Instagram, but strips away the entire feed, so you only talk to close friends. And so it's nice because I've been meaning to delete Instagram for a while, but I have some group chats in there that I would still like to be a part of. So I don't know, kind of makes it into like a messenger type of chat. And then I was thinking back to, so like non-leading like new tech wise, I love air conditioners, and like it's because I grew up in Hong Kong. And like I just remember I would wake up and be so excited because I would get to turn the AC on, because my parents didn't let us like put it on overnight because that's such a waste, obviously, and it's so unenvironmentally friendly. So I would just like run out to go turn on the AC. So yeah, I don't know. I thought you
very relevant. I'm living in a home with an air conditioner for the first time in many, many years. And I feel like I've turned into a dad. This is very stereotyping a lot. But the first couple months that we lived here, my boyfriend, he runs very warm, and we'd have the AC on and a window would be open. And I go, why do you have the AC on with the window? I totally turned into a dad. I'm raised by a dad, so that makes total sense. But AC is amazing. Do you have AC where you are, Brandon? You're in a cold area.
No. We haven't. Yeah, it's not really a thing in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's so rare to have in SF, but over in Oakland, 10 degrees warmer.
But yeah, it was weird because I lived in Florida for 20 years, and you need air conditioning.
You need it.
Can't live without it. And so, yeah, moving to San Francisco, we've lived here for 5 years now, and never had air conditioning. But really, there's only like 1 or 2 weeks a year where it actually gets hot, like where it'll get into the 70s or even the 80s in San Francisco, Fahrenheit.
True.
But I mean, those weeks, like we own, I think, 3 or 4 fans now, and so you just have all the fans on you, just blowing at max speed until the sun goes down. But other than that, it's fine.
Definitely an adjustment from Florida. I'm from Sacramento, where it would often hit the hundreds, and I vividly remember many California state fairs that always happens in, well, not this summer, but every summer in Sacramento. There's a huge state fair that happens there with the Midway and animals and 4-H and cars and all this different stuff. But I have vivid memories being like 4 or 5 years old, and they literally just let children run into the fountain. Like, you weren't supposed to go into the fountain, but it was that hot that they're like, please, like, don't die of heat exhaustion and go into the fountain. So air conditioning, I'm ready for the 3 of us to start we'll disrupt air conditioning and do like smart air conditioning for people. Like a Roomba, but it's an air conditioner and it goes from room to room. Think about it. TM.
I'm thinking and I like it.
Let's pivot. Let's pivot we'll move from the advocacy team, make a smart air conditioning team, IoT at Microsoft. All right, next question. What technology do you hate?
Okay, so I saw this in the previous stream, and so I was thinking about it. I don't really have. I think so I don't think I have like specific products that I don't really like, but what I do think about a lot, at least it's like top of mind for me, is like I think there's a lot of like hype around certain products, like certain tech products at least. And then I find that like interns and new grads especially find that they really want to work at places that are making those really shiny, cool products. But it makes me really think about like what is the value of those things, and like how, like, I really need to take a step back and think about like how are we using our skill set, and like is it bridging gaps, is it impactful? It's something that I think about a lot. So I think it's like those type of products that I use when I kind of take a step back and realize, oh, it's not really adding value to my life. I don't think it's adding value to anyone. Why are really, really brilliant minds working on this? That's kind of like those type of products are ones that like I don't want to like.
And it sounds like with the work that you do with AI, that like ethical AI is probably a thing at top of mind a lot, like making sure that the people and the hype around these things are doing the right thing, really.
Yeah, that's the goal of our org, is we're trying to make it so that we can democratize AI literacy and help people kind of learn about AI enough to the point where they can make decisions about policies that will affect them. And I think that's kind of the biggest part, is like, how do you determine if something's like ethical? And yeah, like, is it driving social impact? And I think that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. It's been a big week for ethical tech. Just seeing a lot of Reddit taking down a lot of, what they've considered unethical subreddits. And there's been it's a really interesting time to be alive, to see all of these kind of positive moves forward to help protect people online, their safety, and also just to make AI and ML more inclusive and make sure that we're training data sets with the right data and inclusive data. And on that topic of TikTok, look at that segue, not RIP segue, still here. There is an amazing developer on TikTok named Ray, I believe, who did a very, very cool TikTok about training a visual machine learning model, which is what really got me inspired to get more involved in AI and ML, with drag queen images. And she was showing the early stages of what the computer thought a drag queen looked like based on the training data it had gotten. It was so beautiful and artistic and just really, really cool, because you don't see a lot of these, groups sometimes being included in these data sets. So I'm really excited to get my hands on my new AI ML experience that I'm gaining this year, because I've made it my mission to up my skills in that area. And I'm going to do some weird stuff, y'all. I'm going to train some weird data sets. I can't wait. I'm going to have like a starfish data set. Who knows? I'll get some ideas from you, Charmaine.
Would love that. Yeah.
Okay, next question. What other profession would you want to attempt?
I think it like has to be like a writer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's like my minor. And I'm just like, I love writing. It's something that I can imagine myself doing like inside of work and then still want to do outside of work. Like, I just love writing. And so I originally went into creative writing thinking that I really liked young adult fiction. But then upon like kind of learning more about, I guess, like children literature, I found like myself really enjoying like writing actually like picture books and things for like younger audiences. And I think that it's so interesting how concise you have to be. It almost like adds this extra layer of complexity to it, because you have not only like a word count limit, but you also have like, you only have 32 pages to work with, for example, like a picture book. And I think, it adds like a lot of interesting, fun restrictions that you don't normally find in like other genres. So yeah.
Also, picture books and just children's books are so formative when you're younger. Like, do you all have your favorite ones? I feel like I loved Stinky Cheese Man and other strange stories, or whatever that was called.
Yeah, I learned to read on Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
So I think the first book I I read was, what was it? I think it was Hop on Pop.
Yes, I was just gonna say Hop on Pop.
I was actually sorry. I was actually inspired by our conversation with Chloe like last time. And I started doing like NLP on Dr. Seuss books because I think it's very interesting. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot to dig into like how they make this whimsical world and what words they're using and why is it that they can do it with so few words. And so, yeah, I think
make them up if you can't figure out how to rhyme.
Yeah.
and it works.
Yeah, leave it up to the imagination. Yeah, that's another thing of like how whimsical it is and how like you take what you will depending on what age you're from these books. Like you can, like an adult reading Dr. Seuss is so different than like a kid reading it. It's so cool.
I want to say at Hackbright that we did a Markov, like an exercise on Markov chains where we used Seuss words. I want to say that was a project that we did. And that was like my introduction to Markov chains. But what Charmaine was talking about, which is a really interesting talk that I think is online from DjangoCon that I keynoted at a couple years ago, these women did an analysis of the Harry Potter books and were able to determine that all of the descriptor, I guess they're adverbs, that described like Harry said angrily or like Hermione said bossily, that all of the words used to describe Hermione were very much, bossy or like, telling people what to do. Whereas, the hero of the story, Harry and Ron, like Ron's descriptive adjectives would be very like timidly or things like that. So it really, analyzing text with AI is so fascinating. I'd love to talk to you. We should do a little project, Charmaine, with that Seuss stuff. That sounds really cool.
I'm down.
Yeah, and since you're working on the docs team with your internship, that's such an interesting blending of worlds too.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay.
Should Seussify the docs.
Seussify the docs.
Everyone, I have work to do. Gotta go.
Maybe we should think about it for April Fools next year. We'll make all the docs Seussified, or maybe it'll be like a tab under
like
languages.
A toggle? Yeah. Oh, so
like
good.
how Facebook had like pirate speak for a little bit. We can do Seuss docs, but then you have to rhyme all the instructions. That might get a little tough.
You can just do like filler rhyme words.
Make them
just
up.
make them up. Yeah, just make them up.
So what profession would you not want to try, Charmaine?
Oh, I always like think about this. So I used to be in dissection club in high school, where we like met up. It's like the nerdiest club you could be in. Like my sister hated it. She's like, Charmaine's at freaking dissection club again, Mom. And like,
what's the weirdest, coolest thing you dissected?
So we were learning surgical techniques. So we did like, I feel so bad now, but like pregnant rats, and then we would take the babies out and then like sew them back up.
We did one in middle school of a squid, and I freaked out because we had this worksheet and it was like, do this, then do this. And one of the steps, I'm not joking, this is at Sutter Middle School, this really happened, was now take the pen out of the squid, because the kind of like vertebrae thing in the squid is called the pen, and it's this very kind of like flippy floppy pen looking thing. Dip it in the ink of the squid and sign your name at the bottom of this worksheet. And I was like, I'm out. I'm good. It's weird.
Yeah.
I did owl pellets in the 3rd grade, which my boyfriend thought was really weird, but apparently this is a California thing that happens.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird time. Like I think back, I don't know how I did it. And I remember like not showing up to all the ones that I couldn't handle. Like I couldn't even stomach it. Like dissecting a crow or something. I don't know. I couldn't.
So no taxidermy internship for you after this. Probably.
Yeah, unfortunately, I will have to turn down those opportunities. But that's where I realized I have really shaky hands. So I don't think I can't be a surgeon. Not that they want me to be a surgeon, but like that would be one profession.
Well, that's interesting because Brandon's answer to this question was like he couldn't do any sort of thing with blood because I got my blood drawn yesterday, Brandon. I thought of you. I was like, ooh.
Oh, dang. Did you pass out?
I didn't pass out. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I'm seeing a trend. A lot of folks in technology don't want to deal with blood or dissecting things. This has definitely come up a couple times. All right. What technology do you wish existed from film or TV?
I think it's it's like such a cop out, but like really enjoyed Doctor Who.
Okay. I
as
see
you
the
can probably
poster.
tell. Yeah. So like it has to be the sonic screwdriver, right? Like, I don't know. I just don't see why you would say anything else, because the sonic screwdriver does everything, and it's like a Swiss Army knife for everything. So like why not? You know, tell me why not.
Okay, I have a confession. I've never watched Doctor Who. Where do I start? What season? The original? There's so much.
Yeah, there's so much. And also, well, all the old ones, like, you only watch for, like, humor because it's so bad.
Okay. But I do love, what's his name? Matt Stone? Smith. Matt Smith.
Yeah. I think he would be, like, a good doctor for you. Like, you would really enjoy him. He's just so fun and, like, has so much, like, personality.
I love him on The Crown, so.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So.
Okay.
Watch
I'm
it
going
and
to
tell
have
me.
to watch this and then report back.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, ad hoc question. So the 8th question we always ask is a special question for our guest. And Brandon, you may not know this, but I know this about Charmaine. We're both big musical theater nerds. I even wore this hair clip that says nerd on it for this particular occasion. Shout out to Coding Crystals. I have other ones that say dev on it and other fun little tech things. But Charmaine, what is your favorite musical?
So I've watched Waitress 3 times.
Okay.
In like different cities. But in terms of like influential, life-changing, I walk out of the theater and my jaw dropped musicals, I think it would be like Pippin.
Okay. Did you see
like,
it on Broadway, the revival one?
Nope. I saw it as a UBC like theater show. Yeah. And then I really so I've never seen the entire musical of this. I've seen like not bootlegs. I have not seen bootlegs. Let's just say that. But Fun Home.
Fun Home was great. I saw Fun Home on Broadway. Very, very good. Love that show. Do you not know that one, Brandon?
No.
It is by, oh my goodness, I'm totally Alison Bechdel of the Bechdel test fame. Are you familiar with the Bechdel test? So the Bechdel test is, I'm going to totally butcher it, but the Bechdel test is basically a test for any film, television show thing where 2 women in the piece have to talk to each other about something other than a relationship or another man. So it kind of like determines if the show is sort of it is Bechdel test approved, sort of. And Alison Bechdel wrote this amazing, I think it was a graphic novel, Charmaine, am I right?
Like a tragic comic.
Yeah, a tragic comic. And they turned it into a musical. Michael Cerveris was in it, a bunch of wonderful people, but it's a great, great show. A local child actor from here was in it, Zell. Shout out to Zell. He's a really incredible performer. Those are some great deep cuts. I will admit, on the Pippin front, every time I see a morning bun at Starbucks, I go, morning bun. And I start singing the morning glow song from Pippin. Do you have a favorite musical, Brandon? Are you a musical person?
Ooh, I mean, it's probably kind of a cop-out, but I mean, love Hamilton. That's the one I've seen most recently, probably with the rest of the world. But I did a bunch of plays growing up. I was in theater in middle school, and so I've been in a bunch. But
I myself have been in Pirates of Penzance twice, and Brandon here has been in Pirates of Penzance once. We're almost twins.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you excited for Hamilton on Friday?
Oh my goodness.
On Disney Plus?
So I know. We don't have Disney Plus, but yeah, we've talked about just like we'll probably have to get Disney Plus just for this.
Gotta get Disney Plus.
I think that's the point. And they totally
They totally gotcha. There's also a really wonderful speaking of STEM topics, Jeff Goldblum has a really wonderful show on Disney Plus where each episode is a different topic. So literally ranging from everything to tattoos, to denim, to all sorts of things. And I have learned a lot from these shows. On this episode, speaking of, I should have saved this for like Two Truths and a Lie, but there's a company in San Francisco that makes a temporary tattoo that you put on your skin, and it will tell you how much sun exposure you've gotten. So over time, it'll get more darker purple, cool. I think, and then oh, I'm going to get burned and I should get out of the sun. And I learned that from Jeff Goldblum on Disney+. So check out Jeff Goldblum. Not an ad, just love Jeff Goldblum. Also, he lets someone... Oh, no, he gives a tattoo. So there's a Jeff Goldblum convention that happens in his hometown, I want to say. And it's an episode about tattoos. And he helps give a Jeff Goldblum tattoo onto someone on one of the episodes. So great little STEM show. All right. We got totally distracted from the topic, from musicals to Jeff Goldblum. Sorry about it. But I'm super excited. It is July 2nd, which means Hamilton's right around the corner. So exciting. What a time to be alive. So we've got about 10 minutes here. Before we wrap things up, this is sort of our little section where we give some plugs on what we're doing, what kind of exciting things are coming up for us. Charmaine, I would love to know more about this AI group that you have. Where can people learn about it or get involved, or tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so you can find us at aiforanyone.org. And so basically we traditionally do a lot of in-person workshops all across like New York City, especially in local high schools and stuff like that. So that was where we started off. And now that there's like COVID and whatnot, we've really expanded our digital products basically. So right now we have a biweekly newsletter that I write. And then
subscribe.
Yeah, we've grown our audience. Like we've had a massive growth in audience over the past few months. So it's been a lot of fun. We also have a blog. We have a podcast that just came out with Paul Lipson, a professor at Columbia University who's doing like really cool stuff in AI. And so we also have like workshops coming up. We did one with Mark Cuban Foundation recently. And that was like an AI intro. And then we did another one about AI in healthcare. And we're trying to launch another one in racial biases within AI algorithms. And so really cool exciting stuff. And,
so I'm subscribing to the podcast. I'm subscribing to the newsletter. I'm subscribing to all these things. It sounds amazing. Brandon, what about you? What do you got on the docket?
Oh man. I wish I had cool stuff like that.
I know. But, I'm like, she's going to put us out of a job. She's going to build the AI to put us out of a job, Brandon. No, I'm just kidding.
It's fine. But no, I figured I'll give shout out to some friends who have been doing some amazing work, and we've talked about my app Get Trends, and I've had some
our
more
favorite
friends.
App of the show, the official app of 92 and Pike.
So if you need to monitor your GitHub repos, go to gettrends.com today.
Ding.
But yeah, so we've been adding in some more support for languages. So I had some friends in the developer community open pull requests that submitted Bosnian, Ukrainian, and then my friend Louis Polhos, he was the one that actually designed the UI for the app. So I launched this app. I mean, it didn't look bad, but it did look great. It's because
most apps are when you first release them.
Yeah, it was very functional. But my friend Louis from Florida hit me up and he's like, "Hey, what do you think of these drawings?" And I was like, "I love it." And so he completely redesigned the UI. It looks amazing now. And he's actually putting together a whole blog post presentation on how to do that yourself. So how to design mobile applications. And a lot of it comes from tools and things he learned while going through the process of updating Get Trends. And so, yeah, I'd love to share that with everybody once it's live. I'm trying to get him because right now, yeah, I own the domain gettrends.com, but it just points to the GitHub page because I'm not a web developer, so I can't make a website. But I was trying to get him to, once this write-up is done, I was like, dude, could I have this? Could I point gettrends.com to your site? That's amazing. And so, yeah, I every day keep being overwhelmed with how much the community has been helping out and contributing to this app. And so a huge shout out to the friends of the community who've been helping me and contributing, and we'll hopefully have this new version with all the foreign languages support out soon, maybe definitely this month. So in a couple weeks.
So
stay tuned.
Exciting. Ooh, the official app of the pod. I call it the pod, but it's the show. Let's see. What am I doing? So, I'm speaking at Powerful Devs Conf, which you can check out more info at aka.ms/powerfuldevsconf. And I actually think it's going to be streamed right here on Learn TV. So if you go to aka.ms/Learn TV on July 15th, we'll be streaming that on here. I am giving a talk about how to make AI feel less like sci-fi. So Charmaine, I'm probably going to come to you for your insight there. But it's all about how to get started with AI using Power Apps. It's an entire conference dedicated to Power Apps. And if you're unfamiliar with Power Apps, really easy, lightweight, kind of drag and drop way for people who may not be very well versed in code to build their own apps. So anybody from admins to office managers, like my previous life. But it's really exciting because Scott Guthrie will be speaking. We have a lot of other amazing folks like Charles Lamanna. We have Maria Nagata. So check it out. That's going to be super fun. If you want to get a head start on what I'm doing on that, you can go to, oh my gosh, I don't even remember the link, aka.ms/powerful something. I will link it below on the YouTube video. I totally clicked out of the tab that I was in. But in addition to that, and I should have mentioned this during the cool news and stuff that was happening, but we can touch on it a little bit more next week. But Microsoft announced an initiative to help 25 million people worldwide to acquire the digital skills needed in a COVID-19 economy. So there's a lot of really cool things coming out of our team and the team that Charmaine is working on. So I'm super, super excited to see what we're doing. That it's a huge initiative to get people really globally skilled to do technology things that we really, really need at home and in this industry right now. So check out Powerful Devs. Charmaine, where can people find you on the interwebs? What is I think we have your Twitter handle listed here, but any other pages or websites? Should they check out your Neopet page? Is that still a thing?
Of course.
Do not check out my Neopet page. But you can find my personal website /blog, charmainelee.com. So you should find everything there. But yeah, Twitter's good, you know?
And I'm very serious. I'm going to poke you today or tomorrow about this Dr. Seuss thing. This sounds so cool. I am so excited to see what you're doing with all this AI ML stuff, because truly I believe that the people working on this need to have a good idea of the power. With great power comes great responsibility, and you are a great responsible person to be working on this. So thank you for all the work that you do, and congrats on your 3rd internship. This is so exciting. It's so great to be working with you now. And I would say see you in the hallways, but of the hallways of teams, we'll call it.
In the hallways of teams.
Oh my gosh, Brandon, we still haven't thought of a sign off for this show. Here we are at 12:57. How should we sign off? Charmaine, help us think of a sign off phrase for this show. So, to everybody out on the internet, this is Chloe.
And Brandon.
And
Charmaine.
And this has been 92 and Pike. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good night, whenever you're watching this.
I think that was good. That was succint enough.
That was good. Bye, y'all.